Good morning, students. In the last class, we have studied about the nervous tissues, where in this nervous so here we having the nervous. We have studied the nervous tissues, where we will having three parts are presenting. Where these are acts as, that means the nervous tissues which are present in our body, they are helpful for conducting an impulse, and also the conducting impulse, not only conducting impulse, it helpful for the coordination of organisms. So here it receives the stimulus and passes to the next cells. So here we'll having these are the nervous tissues where they are present in our body, and these tissues, the neurons are the structural and functional units of units. That is, in the nervous tissues, will having the neurons or the structural as well as the functional units. And also here the neurons will having three parts are presenting: dendrites, axons, and the third one is the cyton. That means, here dendrites, cyton, and axons. The axons and dendrites are arise from the cyton only, and these are derived from the an ectoderm of an embryonic egg hatch. So this is where we have studied in the last class, and we have studied how they functions. Here it is taken place. Based on their position, they are classified into three types. Based on their function, they are classified into two types. And based on their myelinated sheet, that means based on position, they are unipolar, bipolar, and multipolar. And their functions, the sensory nerves, sensory nerves, motor nerves, neurons, as well as the mixed neurons are interneurons. And based on their myelinated sheets, these are again classified into two types. One is myelinated neurons and non-myelinated neurons. So this is where we have studied in the last classes. Now coming to the next topic, that is in the physiology. Here in the physiology. So here physiology means here it is a branch of biology. It is a branch of biology which deals with the study of the functioning of various organs and their disorders. Then this type of a branch we can call as a physiology, where here it is studying of various functioning. That means in our body there are various organs are presenting, various organs will perform and organ systems are formed. That means group of organs are combined together to form an organ systems or formation is taken place. So that organs as well as organ systems which are present in our body, their functioning will be taken place. That functioning which is taken place in our body in an organism, then this functioning of the studying of the functioning of various organs and organ systems in our body, then this type of branch we can call as a physiology. So here the physiology, it is a very important the topics that are having very important in the NEET as well as in the board exam will having very important is taken place. By means here without a physiology, either it may be here the physiology is divided into two types. One is the plant physiology as well as the animal physiology. So now we are discussing only the animal physiology only. That is later we'll go for that is we'll discuss that is about a plant physiologist. So here an physiology which is taken place, it is a very important an aspect for the board as well as a competitive and exams. So in these physiology we are having in our syllabus we are having the first one is the digestion and that is a digestive system, respiratory system, and now we are having the first one is the digestive system. Second one is the respiratory system. And the third one is the circulatory system. And the fourth one is the locomotion and movement. And the fifth one is the excretory system. And the sixth one is the nervous system. The nervous system, and lastly that is a chemical coordination. Or otherwise we can call this as the hormones also. So these are the 7 topics where we have to discuss in this syllabus, that is in the animal, that is in human physiology. In human physiology there are 7 aspects, 7 topics are presenting: a digestive system, a respiratory system, circulatory, locomotion, excretion, nervous, and a chemical coordination. So here in this now in the 2001, now the syllabus is not be presenting, that is digestive system is not be presenting, but we are going directly in the respiratory system will be discussed. So in the digestive system, except digestive system, remaining all topics are presenting. So now we'll go for the firstly we'll discuss about the respiratory systems. So in this physiology in the respiratory, that means here the functioning of various organs. Here the functioning of various and organs and their organ systems which is presenting. So here this will be taken place. That means here this is a very important topic where we'll having in the we will study about organs, various organs and organ systems and their disorders. Disorders means here what are their functions. That means if that organ is not performing their function, what type of diseases. For example, if you take the heart is an organ. So here heart function is not be taken place. What will happen? It may attack the heart attacks, or it may taken place angiopectoris, or here due to otherwise the blood pressure. So here these are the several hypertensions. So these are the various disorders where it takes place during the functioning of various organs. If the organs are not perform their functions, if their organs are not performing their functions, what happens? Here we can call them as the disorders. Disorders means they are causing the malfunctioning of the organs. Due to the malfunctioning of organs, here it causes various types of diseases are produces. So that diseases which are producing, we can call them as the disorders. So in this topic we will discuss the disorders also will be discussed. So that here this branch we can call as the a physiology. Now we'll go for the first topic, that is the respiratory system. Now coming to the first topic, that is the respiratory system, or otherwise we can use the word as a breathing and exchanging of gases. That is a breathing and exchanging of gases, So this is the topic where we will discuss in this the topic, that is a respiratory system, or otherwise we can call it as a breathing or exchanging of gases. That means here a breathing, what is a breathing means? Here we can take in place the breathing. It is a physiological process. It is a physiological process. It is a physiological process in which exchanging of, that means which taking of air from the atmosphere, taking off air from an atmosphere or environment, and leaving the air from the body into atmosphere, into an atmosphere. That means here what is here? It is a physiological process, or we can take in place that is the taking of air into the atmosphere, the taking of air from the atmosphere into the body, into the body, and leaving of the air from body into an atmosphere. That means simply they are taking off the air. That means oxygen is taken place into our body, and again we are leaving the carbon dioxide into an atmosphere. So this is we can call as a physiological process. That means our body requires the air. Why means here without air, that is without oxygen, here our body cannot able to survive. That means living organisms cannot able to survive without an oxygen. So here we are taking the air, that is atmosphere, that is oxygen is taken place into the body, and passes to different parts of the body. Again from different parts, again here carbon dioxide is leaving outside from the body into an atmosphere. So that here it is a type of a physiological process. That means taking place and living. That means here inspiration, that means inspiring the air into the body, and expiring the air, that means inspiring of oxygen into the body and expiring of carbon dioxide into an atmosphere. So it is very simple, a physiological process which is taken place in our body. So this process we can call as a breathing. And here respiration, here only means here in this breathing, here exchanging of gases are taken place. When the gases are taken place, here what happens means here the food which is present in our body, that is oxidizes. When it is oxidized in the presence of the air, what happens here the food will be broken down. And from the broken down food materials, we are able to producing that means we are able to get the energy in the form of an ATP. That means energy we are getting, that energy what you are getting, we are utilize this energy for various metabolical and activities we are able to going on. So such type of process we can call as the respiration. So here what is a respiration means? Here what is a respiration? Here oxidation of the food materials, oxidation of food materials, oxidation of food materials which can produce energy, which can produce the energy in the form of an ATP. That means when food is oxidized, we are getting energy, we are getting that energy which is presenting here, that energy which we are getting in the form of ATP. So this process is called as an respiration. So here the food is oxidizing, that means the food is breaking down where in the presence of oxygen. So what is the oxygen we are taken place? The food which is presenting, that is breaking down. From the breaking down food materials, we are able to getting the energy. So here energy that is produced, that is stored in our body in the form of an ATP. ATP means adenosine. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. It is in the form of an adenosine triphosphate, where it is a form of an energy rich source energy. That is, it is an energy rich source. So the ATP which is presenting energy rich stores, this energy ATP is stored in the cell organelle called as the mitochondria. It is presenting in the where this energy, that means where this energy is stored means here energy is stored in the mitochondria of a cell. So here it is a type of the mitochondria is a cell organelles. So here you know that what is cell organelles? The tiny particles. What are cell organelles means? The tiny particles. These are cell organelles. So here the cell organelle is mitochondria. What is cell organelle means? It is a tiny particles. A tiny particles present in a cell. Present in a cell. Then we can call them as the cell organelles. So here the cell organelles which are presenting, that means the cell organelles which is present in the mitochondria, the energy is stored in the mitochondria, so that here mitochondria are called as the powerhouses of the cells. So here mitochondria are called as the powerhouses of the powerhouses of the cell. That means the power will be supplied by the cell, that is through the mitochondria only, so that the mitochondria is called as the mitochondria are called as a powerhouses of the cell. That means they provide the power, that means it generates the energy for the body, so that the mitochondria are called as the powerhouses of the cells. And also here the ATP which is presenting, here ATP we may call as the currency of the cell. Here we can call that as a currency. We can call that as a currency of a cell. Why we can call as that means ATP we can call as a powerhouses of the cell means here without the ATP, without an ATP, here the cell cannot be able to perform their metabolical activities. So here currency means the amount. For example, if we taken place, a best example nowadays we are using the mobiles. So here without currency or without amount you are deposited, here it cannot able to get the calls, or otherwise the data cannot be able to produce this. So here if you sell, that means the mobile phone should be operated, means here a currency will be required. Without currency, here we cannot able to perform the sales. Likewise, otherwise if you does not having any money, here if you are not having any money, the money means currency. If money is not be present in with us, we cannot able to purchase any type of goods. So if money is presenting, we can able to, that means currency is presenting with us, we can able to provide, or we can able to purchase the various types of goods can able to purchases. So if money is not be presenting, likewise here we cannot able to purchase. Likewise a cell also, if ATP is not be presenting, here the metabolical and activities cannot be taken place. The cell will be in the form of an inactive state. When it is inactive means here it does not having any, and ATP is not be presenting. For example, when you are in getting a fever, if you are get the fever, what happens here in 2 to 3 days, here you cannot able to do the metabolical activities. So your metabolical activities are more or very less in condition when compared to the normal. But when you are having, that means if ATP is presenting, at that time ATP, that means food we are not able to take in place, so energy cannot be produced. So when you take food materials, the energy, the ATP also produced. So with the help of ATP, we can able to go the all metabolical and activities can be taken place in our body. So that here ATP is called as the currency of the cell. That means without the currency, the cell cannot able to perform their functions. That means all metabolical activities are taken place in the form of an ATP only. So ATP is called as a currency of the cell, and mitochondria are called as the powerhouses of the cells. So this is the main difference between the breathing as well as the respiration. Here breathing means it is a simple physiological process only, where the exchanging of gases, that means taking of air into the body and the leaving of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So here it is a physiological process where it passes. But here what happens in the respiration, here when the food is passing through different regions, here what happens, the food is oxidized, that means breaking down. The breaking down of food materials, when the breaking down of food materials, we are able to get energy in the form of a glucose. That glucose we can call as an ATP. So that with the help of this glucose in the form of NAPT, we are able to utilize the energy rich sources, and we are going on doing all metabolical and activities can be taken place in an organisms. So here in the respiration, based on the presence of the presence or oxygen or absence of oxygen, that is here presence or absence of oxygen, here the respiration is classified majorly into two types. One we can call as the aerobic respiration, and the second one we can call as the anaerobic respiration. The aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, where these are taken place in the presence of oxygen or absence of oxygen. These are classified, the respiration is classified into two types. One is aerobic and an anaerobic respiration. So what are that now will be discussed. Now currently to based on their respiration, based on presence of an oxygen, the respiration is classified into two types. So here the first one is the aerobic respiration, and the second one is the anaerobic respiration. One is the aerobic respiration, and the second one is the anaerobic respiration. So here the respiration, that is oxidation of food materials. Respiration is taken place in the presence of an oxygen. So here the respiration is taken place. The respiration is taken place in the presence of oxygen. Then it is called as the aerobic respiration. So in aerobic respiration, in aerobic respiration we are able to produce the carbon dioxide, water. Along with this we are able to get 36 kilocalories of energy can be able to produce this. That is, so here if we taken place C6H12 or 6 plus 6O2 give rise to 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus 36 kilocalories of energy is produced. That means we are able to get 36 and ATP molecules are produced. Here we can able to get 36 ATP, and here we can able to get the 36 and ATP molecules or kilocalories. We are able to get 36 kilocalories of energy we are able to produce when in the taken place in the presence of an oxygen. If it is in the presence of oxygen, here it takes place, we are able to get the 36 energy. That means we are getting carbon dioxide, water we are getting, along with this 36 ATP molecules are produced, or 36 kilocalories are energy is produced. Next, an anaerobic respiration. Here anaerobic means in the absence of, that means respiration is taken place. The respiration is taken place in the absence of oxygen. In the absence of an oxygen, then it is called as the so here in the aerobic respiration, here we are able to getting the carbon dioxide and water, along with this the 36 and ATP molecules are produced, are 36 kilocalories of an energy is produced in the form of an ATP molecules. And also here in the anaerobic respiration, here it is the respiration is taken place in the absence of an oxygen. Here oxygen is not be presenting, so in the absence of oxygen this type of process is taken place, so that here we can call that as the anaerobic respiration. So in anaerobic respiration, here we are able to get C6H12O6, here we will getting 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2 plus 56. Here we are able to get the 2 ATP molecules. Here we are able to get 2 ATP molecules are getting here, 36 ATP molecules are produces. So that here when it is oxidized, that means in the absence of oxygen, here we are getting an ethyl alcohol we are able to produce this. Here we are able to get the ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus a 2 and ATP molecules are the producing. So this type of process we can call as the anaerobic respiration, where it takes place in the absence of an oxygen. And also here the respiration is also classified based on their exchanging of gases. Here exchanging of gases. Here these are classified into two types. One is called as the direct respiration, and the second one is an indirect. The second one is an indirect respiration. So here the respiration is taken place. The respiration is taken place. They've been based on their the exchanging of an exchanging of the materials. That means exchanging of the materials, the exchanging of materials. That is exchanging of gases. Here the respiration is classified into two types. One we can call as the direct respiration, and the second one is called as an indirect respiration. So here direct respiration means here the exchanging of gases is taken place through the directly to the by the diffusion process. Here the respiration is taken place. The respiration is taken place, or exchanging of gases are taken place by the respiration is taken place by a diffusion process. By the diffusion process, that is by diffusion or by general body surface or by general body surface. A body surface in the form of a diffusion, then it is called as an indirect respiration. That means here through the skin or through the direct general body surface, here exchanging of gases are taken place. So that means in the form of diffusion this process is taken place, then we can call as the direct respiration. And the second one, indirect means here exchanging of gases are taken place. Exchanging of gases. The exchanging of gases is taken place. The exchanging of gases is taken place by the respiratory organs. By the respiratory organs. Here by the respiratory organs, if the exchanging of gases are taken place, then such type of direction or such type of respiration we can call as that is indirect respiration through the respiratory organs. Here either by the gills or by the skin or by the trachea or by the lungs. So here lungs in humans, the lungs are called as the respiratory organs. So through the lungs, if the respiration is taken place, that is a process from the nostrils. The air enters into through the nostrils, from nostrils to the pharynx to the larynx to the trachea to the bronchi, from bronchi to the lungs. From lungs again that passes from lungs to the bronchi to the trachea to the larynx to the pharynx pharynx to the nasal cavity, again the carbon dioxide is leaving. So here indirectly it is passing, the oxygen is passes or exchanging of gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide, the exchanging of gases is taken place through the respiratory organs. If it is passing, then such type of respiration we can call as an indirect respiration. So here, based on the presence of the respiration, there are two types, that is the presence of oxygen, here aerobic and anaerobic, and based on their exchanging of gases, here respiration is classified into two types, that is direct as well as an indirect respiration. So this is two types of, this is a basic and introduction. So here we'll having general information if it taken place. Here it is the respiration. Here in lower organisms, the respiration is taken place by the general body surface like poriferans, coelentrates, platyhelminthes and ascihelminthes. Here taken place, here they taken place through general body surfaces taken place. Or otherwise, an example if it taken place by a cutaneous respiration. Here cutaneous means the respiration is taken place in the presence of an skin. If respiration already we have discussed, that is in animal kingdom, and going on here the respiration is taken place through general body surface, or if it is taken place by the skin, we can call as a cutaneous respiration. And if it is taken place by gills, the respiration is taken place by a gills, then we can call as that is a bronchial respiration. And if respiration is taken place by tracheae, you can call as a tracheal respiration. And if some organisms like scorpions, sticks, here respiration is taken place by a book lungs. Here book lungs means here they are arranged in the form of that means how the leaves are arranged in a book. All the leaves of pages where they are arranged in a book, here their lungs are arranged in the form of a book-like structure, where here exchanging of gases is taken place through the book lungs. So they are called as the respiratory organs in scorpions and sticks. And also the lungs in the all vertebrates. All vertebrates will having the respiratory organs or the lungs. Through the lungs the respiration is taken place. So these are the various types of the respirations, how that is taken place. So this is the various introduction about the respiratory system. So in a next class, we'll discuss here the respiratory system, that is breathing and exchanging, how here it takes place in the respiratory system. Will having two zones are presenting. First zone we can call them as the conducting zone, and the second one is called as the respiratory zones. So one is a conducting zone and second one is the respiratory zone. So these together we can call as the respiratory system. There here through this, that means conducting means it passes the air, carbon dioxide or oxygen from nostrils to the bronchi. We can call that as they are the conducting zones. And the lungs, where they are present in their respiratory zone, where here the exchanging of gases are taken place. So here we can call that as the respiratory zones, that will be discussed in the next class.